All right, let's get ready to dive into the world of terrazzo setting. We're going to help you prep for that interview so you can walk in there like you already know the craft.
Exactly. And luckily, we've got the perfect tools to help us out here.
We've got RoleCatcher's Career Guide and their Interview Guide, both made just for terrazzo setters.
And we're going to take a deep dive into both of them.
Let's jump right into it with RoleCatcher's sample interview questions. The first one's pretty straightforward. What experience do you have with terrazzo setting?
Yeah, even if you're just starting out, this is where you get to really show the interviewer why you're interested in this kind of work.
It's about showing off your passion.
Right. Don't just think about listing out past jobs you've had. Think about any experience you've had that shows you can work with your hands and pay attention to detail.
Like, have you ever helped a friend with a tiling project?
Exactly. Or have you ever mixed concrete for anything?
Even something as simple as that shows you've got the basic skills and a willingness to learn.
Definitely. And it's all about making that connection for the interviewer. Like, I bet you'd be surprised how many of the skills you already have can translate to terrazzo setting.
Totally. And speaking of skills, question number 2 asks, what tools and equipment are necessary for terrazzo setting?
Oh, this is a good one.
I can picture the basics like trowels and levels, but there are so many specialized tools for this job.
Oh yeah, there are a ton.
I remember seeing these things they use to smooth out the surface.
Are you talking about screeds?
Screeds, yeah, those are the thing. So how much do you need to know about all the different tools going into the interview?
I wouldn't worry about knowing every single tool out there. It's more about showing that you're eager to learn and you have a basic understanding of the process.
Like, you don't need to be a walking encyclopedia of terrazzo tools, but you should definitely be familiar with the common ones and be ready to learn about the rest.
Exactly. And it's important to be honest, too. If they ask you about a tool you've never used before, don't try to fake it. Just say, I haven't worked with that specific tool yet, but I'm definitely eager to learn.
All right, let's move on to question number 3. How do you prepare a surface for terrazzo setting?
This one's all about showing you understand the importance of preparation.
Because a terrazzo floor is only as good as the surface it's laid on, right?
That's right. You want to let the interviewer know you're not going to cut corners. A good terrazzo setter takes the time to prep the surface properly.
So walk us through some of the key things involved in preparing a surface for terrazzo.
Well, first, you've got to make sure the surface is completely clean and free of any debris. Then you have to make sure it's level.
Ah, so that's where the levels come in.
Exactly. And then you might need to apply a sealer depending on the type of surface.
So it's a multi-step process that requires attention to detail. You know what's really cool?
What?
RoleCatcher actually has AI that can help you figure out which keywords to emphasize in your answers.
That's right. It's like having a secret weapon.
So if the job description is really emphasizing being meticulous and detail-oriented,
Right.
you can use that kind of language when you're talking about preparing a surface.
Yeah, and that can make a big difference. It shows the interviewer that you're not just giving generic answers, you're really tailoring your responses to their specific needs.
Okay, question number 4 gets to the heart of the craft. It asks, how do you mix and apply terrazzo?
This is where you get to show off your knowledge of the process.
It's like asking a chef for their secret recipe, right?
Kind of. It's important to understand the different ratios of cement and aggregates that are used to create the terrazzo mix.
Oh, and don't forget about the pigments.
Right, pigments are what give terrazzo its color and vibrancy. And then you have to know the proper techniques for pouring and spreading the mix.
So it's a combination of knowledge, skill, and experience.
Exactly.
Now, I think this is a good point to bring in some insights from RoleCatcher's Career Guide. It mentioned that customization is becoming increasingly popular in the terrazzo industry.
Oh, for sure.
So if you have any experience or interest in design, this is a great opportunity to showcase that.
That's a great point. Clients are looking for unique and personalized terrazzo floors more and more.
So if you can show that you can think outside the box and come up with creative solutions, that's a huge plus.
Definitely. It's a chance to really set yourself apart from other candidates. All right, moving on to question number 5. This one asks, how do you ensure the quality of a terrazzo installation?
Quality control, very important.
Absolutely. This is your chance to show the interviewer that you're not just going to slap down some terrazzo and call it a day. You take pride in your work and want to make sure it's top-notch.
All about the details. Yeah.
Exactly. You want to talk about things like checking for proper adhesion, making sure the surface is level, and ensuring that the colors are consistent throughout the installation.
No cutting corners.
Nope, not at all. They want to know that you're meticulous and pay attention to every little detail.
Speaking of paying attention to detail, I think this is another great spot to mention RoleCatcher's AI feedback feature.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can actually practice your answer to this question, record yourself, and then get feedback from the AI on how you sound.
That's right. It's like having a personal coach helping you prepare for the interview.
Exactly. The AI will analyze your tone, your pacing, and even your body language, and give you specific tips on how to improve.
It's an amazing tool for refining your interview skills.
Okay, question number 6 is a bit of a curveball. It asks, how do you troubleshoot issues that arise during a terrazzo installation?
Ah, yes. Because sometimes things don't go exactly according to plan, right?
Exactly.
This question is really about problem solving. The interviewer wants to know that you can think on your feet and find solutions when faced with unexpected challenges.
So what are some examples of issues that might come up during a terrazzo installation?
Well, you might encounter things like cracking in the terrazzo or the colors might not mix properly. There are a lot of variables that can affect the final outcome.
So how do you prepare for this kind of question?
The best way is to have some specific examples from your past experience, even if they weren't directly related to terrazzo. Think of a time when you faced a challenge on a project and had to figure out a solution.
It's all about showcasing your problem-solving skills, right?
Exactly.
I think it's also important to highlight your experience with different materials and techniques.
Hmm.
The career guide mentioned that Terrazzo setters often work with a wide variety of aggregates, pigments, and decorative elements.
That's a great point.
So the more versatile you are, the better equipped you'll be to handle any unexpected issues.
Absolutely.
All right, question number 7 asks, how do you manage your time and prioritize tasks during a terrazzo installation?
Time management is crucial in this field, especially on larger projects where you have multiple tasks going on simultaneously.
So they're looking for someone who's organized and efficient.
Exactly. You want to highlight your ability to plan ahead, create a schedule, and stick to it.
But also be able to adapt if things change, right?
Oh, definitely. Things rarely go exactly as planned on a construction project. So being able to adjust your schedule and reprioritize tasks is essential.
And it's all about maximizing productivity without sacrificing quality.
Absolutely.
Question number 8 is all about safety. It asks, how do you ensure safety during a terrazzo installation?
Safety should always be the top priority on any job site.
Especially when you're working with heavy materials, power tools, and potentially hazardous chemicals.
Right. The interviewer wants to see that you understand the risks involved and take safety seriously.
So what are some key things to highlight in your answer?
You want to emphasize your knowledge of safety regulations and procedures. Always wear the appropriate safety gear, like gloves, goggles, and a mask.
And make sure the work area is properly ventilated.
Exactly. And you also want to show that you're proactive about identifying potential hazards and taking steps to mitigate them.
All right, question number 9 shifts the focus a bit. It asks, how do you stay up to date with advancements in terrazzo setting technology and techniques?
This one's all about showing that you're committed to continuous learning and staying ahead of the curve.
Because the terrazzo industry is constantly evolving, right?
Yeah,
There are always new materials, tools, and techniques emerging.
that's right. So it's important to demonstrate that you're a lifelong learner who's eager to embrace new technologies.
So how do you stay informed about the latest developments in the field?
Well, there are several ways. You can read industry publications, attend trade shows, take online courses, and even connect with other professionals through online forums and social media.
It's all about staying curious and seeking out opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly.
Okay, the final question in RoleCatcher's Guide is all about the people side of the job. It asks, how do you manage client relationships during a terrazzo installation project?
Ah, yes. Because it's not just about laying the terrazzo, it's about providing a positive experience for the client.
So communication is key.
Absolutely. You want to show that you can build rapport with clients, manage their expectations, and address any concerns they might have in a professional and courteous manner.
So what are some practical tips for effective client communication?
Well, it's important to keep the client informed throughout the entire process. Explain what you're doing, why you're doing it, and answer any questions they might have.
Be transparent and proactive.
Exactly. And if any issues arise, address them promptly and professionally.
And don't be afraid to go the extra mile to make sure the client is happy with the final product.
Right. At the end of the day, a satisfied client is the best advertisement for your work.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
We've talked about the key skills you need to succeed as a terrazzo setter.
We've gone through some of the toughest interview questions you might face.
And we've explored how RoleCatcher can help you prepare for that interview and really shine.
But there's one thing I want to emphasize before we wrap up.
What's that?
It's not just about knowing the answers, it's about how you deliver them.
Ah, you're talking about confidence in presentation.
Exactly. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you can't communicate it effectively, it won't get you very far.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI feedback comes in.
Right. It's such a valuable tool for practicing your interview skills and refining your delivery.
So how does it work?
Well, you can record yourself answering the interview questions we've discussed.
And then the AI analyzes your responses.
Exactly. It looks at things like your tone of voice, your pacing, even your body language.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
And then it gives you specific feedback on how to improve.
So you can walk into that interview feeling confident and prepared.
Exactly. You'll know how to present yourself in the best possible light and make a great impression.
I love that. And RoleCatcher doesn't just stop at interview prep, does it?
Nope, not at all. It has a whole suite of tools to help you throughout your career journey.
Like what?
Well, there's the CV Resume Builder, which helps you create a resume that highlights your most relevant skills and experience.
Oh yeah, that's super helpful.
And then there's the Career Compass, which provides personalized guidance based on your goals and aspirations.
So it's not just about landing this one job. It's about building a successful and fulfilling career in the world of Terrazzo.
Exactly. RoleCatcher is like having a partner in your corner, supporting you every step of the way.
Well, there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the world of Terrazzo setting.
We've covered everything from the basics of the craft to the most challenging interview questions.
We've shown you how RoleCatcher can help you take your career to the next level.
So, what are you waiting for?
Get out there, embrace the challenge, and create some beautiful, durable, and inspiring Terrazzo floors.
And good luck with that interview.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.